Hey everybody, John Evigan here. Hello and good morning. Greetings from Maryland. We're about to cross the Potomac River. See? Potomac. P-O-T-O-M-A-C. Potomac River. Oh yeah. Alright. Let's call it Potomac River. There you go. Obviously, I am back in my truck. Let's see. How do I begin? Gee, many crickets. I don't know. Welcome to Virginia. I am on my way to somewhere in Virginia, 119 miles away, to pick up a load out of Shamrock Foods and bringing that to Dallas Fort Worth area. Oh, I don't want to see a motorcycle. I really don't. Okay, so it has been quite some time now since the adventure came to an abrupt end in Deadhorse, Alaska. I took a flight from, welcome to West Virginia. Took a flight from Deadhorse to Anchorage, Anchorage to Chicago, Chicago to Milwaukee, and then my family came and picked me up, and then we drove AJ to Minnesota. She is back in Minneapolis, St. Paul College. So I've had some time to reflect on all of this adventure, story. I tell you, it's been hard. You know what it feels like? It feels exactly just the way I lost Tampers. I would wake up in the middle of the night with so much regret and so much sorrow. I lost a friend. It's crazy. It's just an object, it's just a motorcycle. I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why I feel that way. It's just an object, Are we supposed to feel that way towards an object? Maybe we're not supposed to feel that way. Maybe that's a very sinful. Maybe it's a sin to be attached to an object like that, right? I don't know. But yeah, I'd wake up almost every night feeling like I lost a friend. And then my mind would play the same scenario of what if, shoulda, coulda, woulda, could I have done better? I don't know. But I've done everything all I could to prevent that from happening. I mean, it's a radiator. It blew. It leaked. It's 14 years old. It wasn't because of the terrain. It wasn't because the radiator got hit with a rock. Nothing. It just gave out. It was just old. By the way, I called called my Honda dealership in where I live in Wisconsin, and I did ask them how much to put in a radiator. You see, a Honda Goldwing has two radiators, one on the right, one on the left, and the radiator itself was $450. The labor was $450. And according to Kyle, the technician, well, he wasn't the technician guy, he was just the person up in the service desk that takes care of all that stuff. It would have cost me $1,060 to replace the radiator out the door. But I'm sure there would have been a little bit more than that, right? Shop supplies, not to mention the going there, coming out of there. So for those of you who are just tuning in or trying to catch up, the freight company wanted to ship it for $800 down to Fairbanks, and then $3,500 to ship it all the way to Milwaukee. But the problem was I had to meet the motorcycle somewhere in Fairbanks so that I can take it to an independent company that would be willing to crate the motorcycle. How much do you think that was? How much do you think it would have been to crate the motorcycle? I would say probably a minimum of $1,000, probably, right? I don't know, but that seems to be my initial instinct about the price. Could have been cheaper, could have been more, but as I said at the time, and I still feel that way, that it would have cost me $1,000 to create it. It would have cost me another couple $100 to bring it to the freight company, and the motorcycle was only worth about $8,000. I really feel that all said and done, I would have spent a lot more than $8,000 plus the time that I don't have to bring that motorcycle back to Wisconsin. And as I mentioned in an earlier video, how much longer before the next part starts to break down again? This is the first major breakdown, the only breakdown this motorcycle has ever had. Well, it has a very low mileage on it, so yeah, there's so many things that I could have done differently, or at least that plays around my mind. I could have, should have, would have, could have, you know. But would the outcome be different? I don't know. There are just so many things that we play that game of woulda, shoulda, coulda, and we think that things would have played out differently. We will never know. We will never know. But I tell you what, I have come to the realization that in this motorcycle adventure, you know, you have to understand thousands upon thousands of people from around the world that do this ultimate dream of riding to Prudhoe Bay, Alaska. And each one of them have their own story. Some stories that come out better, some people come out disastrously. But nevertheless, this is my story. And you know what? Yes, I wish it was a better story. But nevertheless, it is my story, and I've been gifted the opportunity. I gotta go. I've been gifted to be able to tell the story. I have a story. Millions of people out there that ride motorcycles, they don't have a story to tell like this, right? So no matter what kind of a story it is, it's better than no stories. Oh yeah. So at the end of it all, as I also mentioned earlier, that the only thing that Mama was really upset about was all the camping gears and a little bit of the flashlight, the air pressure, tire pressure, some of the tools, you know, certain things that she wanted it back. And she kind of got mad because I just gave it away. But to bring them back with me would have cost more. Again, it would have cost more to bring it back with me than just to leave it there. What else could I add? I also think that the whole thing made me realize certain things in life. There are, because of this adventure and experience, Mama and I are we're changing things. At least we're planning something different. So I don't want to say too much. Hell, I suppose I could share it with you. So anyway, one of the experiences that I had was when I went up there. I was introduced to a guy named Roger. Now Roger is an operation manager for Linden Company up there in Deadhorse, Alaska. I mean, this guy, knew everybody. He had full access to the whole entire Prudhoe Bay. Not just Deadhorse, but the whole operation. And he has given me access to all the restricted areas that 99% of the population will never see because it's all restricted. He actually took the whole couple of hours to drive me around the whole operation now. The whole operation in Deadhorse. The oil companies, the oil industry is hundreds and hundreds of miles all the way around. And obviously you can't experience that in a day or maybe even a year. It's just so big. But he has given me access to, well, he didn't give me access, but he brought me with him, show me around the operations, everything up there. And Roger was man, that guy was a really nice guy. I asked him about trucking up there, and this is the part where I'm trying to share with you. And it got to me. It really got to me. So according to Roger, if I was to work up there, I could make around $96,000 in 6 months. But that's not 6 months solid straight. That's 6 months worth of work in a whole 1 year. See, what people do up there is they go up there and work 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time, but they also take off 2, 3 weeks at a time. Or you can work for 3 weeks and you can go on vacation for 2 weeks or 1 week, however your deal is. And the nice thing about out there is there's no traffic, there's no problem about where to park, you never sleep in your truck, you go home to your hotel room every night, every day. Food is free. There's no store to spend your money on. There's absolutely zero liquor store up there. I don't know about cigarettes. I don't think they sell cigarettes up there, but I think people bring their own. Now they do have post office boxes up there, and that to me is very, very appealing. So initially, right now, the dream is, it's just a dream, the dream is that I am somehow, sooner rather than later, I'm headed to Alaska. I'm gonna be working in the oil fields up in Prudhoe Bay. It's just a dream. Don't know whether that's gonna come true or not, but that's the dream. And Mama and I thought that, well, you see, Mama still has about 5 years left of her work before she can retire. So the dream is that I work up there, 2-3 weeks at a time, come home whatever time I need. Now that's what you call quality time home. Not this trucking industry of you only get 1 day vacation time for every 1 week you get out. You go out for 3 weeks and you're only allowed to go on vacation for 3 days. Yeah, it doesn't fly to me anymore. Don't worry, I've already shared this with the bosses. And one of the things that is also a bit, we all can see, we are all experiencing that the world is changing. Things are not what it used to be. People are not what it used to be either. So that's the plan, is for me to work up there, save up as much money as I can, and within 5 years, God willing, Mama and I were gonna buy a condo up there in Anchorage. There seems to be a lot of Filipino community in Anchorage. And the thought that I can actually live in a place where I have never been before or never explored before is very, very appealing. Then I won't have to drive so far to do an adventure. Right? Everything will be there. Canada will be there. Alaska will be there. The Rockies will be there. It's funny, when my motorcycle broke down, I actually entertained the idea of, maybe I could just rent a U-Haul and just drive it. And then I realized, wait a minute, I'm all the way up to Alaska. I don't think that would work. I forgot where I was. Needless to say that if my motorcycle did break down somewhere in Illinois or Iowa or somewhere in the 48th state, yeah, I would have brought it back home and tried to get it fixed. But all the way from Deadhorse, Alaska, yeah, that was just a little bit too much. So yes, that's the initial dream at the moment. As I said, it's just a dream. I was really ready to pull the trigger and do it, but there are things in the background that prevented me from doing that, and that's all I'm allowed to share. There are things that are happening right now that it would not be proper, it would not be right for me to just go right now. Something personal within the neighborhood of my life, kind of a thing, the people around my circle. As I said, it wouldn't be proper, it wouldn't be right, it would be just a very cruel thing to do if I was just to up and go. And it's actually quite I don't want to use the word inconvenience, but yeah, I suppose that seemed to be the word that I have at the moment. The timing couldn't have been worse, because Prudhoe Bay actually gets busier in September or October. That's when the whole game up there starts. But let's just say that my problem is nowhere near the problem certain people in my life that are experiencing. That's why I'm reluctant to use the word inconvenient, right? I've already cleared it with the boss. He's all okay with it. I think the boss is gonna be scaling back himself as well. He's looking at different options. I didn't know this, but I've just now learned that my boss has started trucking business since he was 15 years old. He started the business under his dad's name. Obviously, he wasn't old enough to start the company, but he started the company under his father's name, and he's been at it ever since. So, as I said, there's a lot of different people with a lot of different story, but this is my story. It's I'll take the win, man. I will take the win. Yes, we all wish we had one of those stories that we go to Deadhorse, Alaska and come back at the house without any incident, not even a flat tire. But nevertheless, I've been given a gift of a story to tell, and it's all good. It's all good. Objects can be replaced. Debts can be paid. I'm alive. I am not even hurt. Not even a single scratch. There was only one incident that I am embarrassed to tell you, but there was only one incident in the whole trip that kind of made things not, perfectly as far as ride goes. I did drop the motorcycle while I was trying to park. I guess I leaned the bike to park too soon for the kickstand to properly extend, and the bike tipped over while I was parked, and it was parked in an incline and leaning to the left. So for me to pick up a 900-pound motorcycle by myself was very hard. But that's it. That was the whole, you can't consider it a crash, but yeah, that was that was the extent of the crash, is kind of a idea. Now then, let's go back to this reality. Yeah, I don't want to be here. I do not want to be here. Give me a couple of days to reaccumulate, and we'll try to get the groove back. Oh, one thing you guys have noticed or not noticed, the whistling is gone. It wasn't the turbo, it wasn't the belt, it wasn't one of the pulleys, it was the exhaust manifold cylinder 4 that was leaking. That kind of made sense because it only made it every time I put power to it. So the current odometer reading is 617,442 miles. Alright, well, I'm taking way too much of your time. But for those of you who have supported me on PayPal, you know who you are. I just thank you, really. It's no matter what the amount that you gave, whether it was big or small, the thought that you guys took your time to actually show your appreciation and support is mind-boggling. I've been asked about why do I ask people for support money like that, right? And I said it's not about the money, although the money did really help a lot. It really did. But it's really not about the money that much. It was an affirmation that somehow in my own debacle personality, that somebody out there actually supports what I do and appreciates what I do, and that there is gold, man. I don't know, as human being, I think we long for people to support us, to encourage us, right? That is priceless. Whatever amount of money you give is the amount, but the gift was priceless. And a lot of people have been giving me grief. Why do you do that? You know, there are people out there on YouTube with millions and millions of subscribers, and they do the same thing, and I wonder about that, you know? Why do these people with millions and millions of subscribers still pushes the idea that if you appreciate this video, give us your support? But there you go. Anyway, I'll end with this. Again, for those of you who have supported, your gifts are priceless. For those of you who continue to follow the videos, comment, shares, and likes, don't diminish that. that is just as good as it gets. So thank you. All right, we are down to 92 miles. Where am I going again? Verona, Wisconsin. We've been there before. Going to Shamrock Farm in Verona, Virginia, not Wisconsin. Verona, Virginia, that's where we're headed. So, all right, thank you. Peace. Aha. All right, everybody, we are here at Shamrock Farms in Verona, Virginia, and we have been assigned to door 7. I only have my hat cam to work with on this trip because I could not bring too much gear on the plane with me. Well, that's not the line we should follow. First day at work, and I can't seem to back up that well. The instruction is to back in with the door closed. They'll open it from the inside. They do, however, require those tandems to be slid all the way to the back, so that we gotta do. Now get this, they only want the tractor brake to hold the truck. That's their instruction. Alright, later. Peace. Alright everybody, we are loaded and headed to Dallas, Texas. 1,193 miles. You know, one thing that I have learned on this Alaska trip For me to drive 1,193 miles in a truck is nothing. I mean, it's not nothing, but riding that on a motorcycle, it is rough. But anyway, the temperature here is 81 degrees. Why is this not working? I'll be right back. Okay, I had to disconnect and reconnect the driver e-log app here. You know, that's one thing that I am not going to miss. Up there in Prudhoe Bay, they don't log up there. They just, I think they do a 12-hour shift every day. There's no weekend off, there's no day off, and they pay you overtime. No DOT, no rush hour, no junk foods, no places to, you know, worry about where to park. Sure, you gotta contend with minus 80-degree weather sometimes, but you know, there's always a trade-off of something, right? And I have never been to a environment that is so isolated as much as Prudhoe Bay. By the way, there is no direct flight from Fairbanks, Alaska to Deadhorse, Alaska. It seems that all flight to Deadhorse, Alaska is always coming from Anchorage, Alaska. Everything that goes to Deadhorse starts in Fairbanks, I mean Anchorage. And also something worthy to explain is that they hire anyone from anybody from anywhere in the United States or in the world, as long as you have a work permit. But they will only fly you to if you can get to Fairbanks or Anchorage, then the fare to Deadhorse is free. And every worker that goes to Deadhorse from anywhere flies in and out of Deadhorse, Alaska. So a lot of people up there live from Florida. I mean, they're from all over the place. It is their responsibility to fly back home from either Fairbanks or Anchorage, and then, as I said, the airfare from those two places to Deadhorse is paid for by the company you work with or for. And I did not notice, but there are hundreds and hundreds, well, I wouldn't say hundreds, let's just say dozens and dozens of different companies up there that you can choose to work. Alright, that's all I got. We'll catch you later. Peace.